chosen few are back. 144, we feeling that. 144, we got your back. 144, can you believe that? Chosen few are back. 144, we feeling that. 144, we got your back. 144, can you believe that?
Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. My common sense be tingling, because this is the chosen world. Yeah, and that means I'm in the house. And if the unknown factor's in the motherfucking house, you know I got my brother from that same spiritual mother. What's up,
Yo,
bro?
yo, what up? It's Mister DKB. How y'all doing? For us up, as always.
Yeah, it's motherfucking right. And tonight on episode fucking 5, bro. We're to episode 5. You realize that? Right?
It's crazy.
But I guess tonight, man, we had to switch it up a little bit, you know? We've had some dope ass MCs, right? We had the first lady of the chosen 4. But you know what we ain't had? We ain't had nobody on that other side of things. So I introduce to you one of the exclusive producers and engineers of the 144,000 chosen few, Blacksmith. What's good, man?
Yo, what's good, fellas? What's going on?
What up?
Yeah. You know, like they say, one lock is stronger than one string because we all one. You know what I mean?
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
dude. And I love that phrase, by the way. I
Thank you.
really do. Because and more than anything, I love it because I think it resonates with what we as the 144 as a collective man are doing. So it's just like that needs to be on the back of the shirt that DKB is gonna design the fucking shit to that I'll get him a picture to later tonight. But you might be able to find that before you even see this podcast. And I might not be revealing shit. That shirt I might have that shirt on the next fucking episode. Who knows, right? But that ain't the point, right? The point is Blacksmith. So, man, I'm gonna let my brother take the first question.
Man, you gonna throw it like that?
I figured you.
You do your
I
alley
figured
You got
Usually,
you
straight.
got it.
usually the first question is like, how long you been doing this? When'd you get into this hip hop? You not being a writer, you on the other side, you're not a rapper, so per se. How did you get in? Yeah, maybe you were a writer. What got you into the game?
Uh, I originally started out as a rapper. Um, I've been in this game for a long time. I'm not going to date myself. Just know
Yep, that's what Seven said until he dated himself.
um, but yeah, I started out as a writer. Eventually transferred over to production, just from my mentor, William K. Paul. He's actually a jazz musician who passed away a couple years ago, but he trained me to engineer and got me on this side of things. So, give a lot of props to him.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And may he rest in peace then.
Yeah.
Especially if he's led you to this, dude. I'll say he must have been dope without meeting him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's a percussionist. He was one of the best. He was one of the best out there in jazz.
Hell yeah, man. That's the only.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the only motherfucking instrument. I love that you bring that up. And I literally look. I just want to point out that shit wasn't planned. All right, not one bit.
Nah.
I just happened
Just
to have
like
been a
that one
drummer.
we was on with lights out and your lights went out,
Yeah.
That's
Lights
how
out,
that's how we connect, you know what I mean?
That's
Just
cool.
That's
shit
just
happens.
it's just the chosen world, man. I don't know. Shit just seems to flow. And I guess that's just because it's the 144 and we got a hell of a general in charge, man. And I guess I'll just leave it at that in all frankness, man. In all sincerity. But I'll tell you, let's just flip it to that then. Since you got into it and you started and it was a jazz music that led you into engineering. How'd you end up hooking up with Judah and the 144 like you did, man?
Well, I've known Judah before he was Judah Priest.
Oh.
So when y'all call him Judah all the time, but I call him by his government aid now and then. Everybody look at him like a priest.
We won't throw his government name out, but I'm
I
pretty
know,
sure
but
everybody in the room knows it. But we won't do it to nobody because we won't do it to none of the 144.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my brother. I've known him for a long time. I've always been around since the concept of 144. I just never really came around the crew. I was actually doing production, and I was actually working with a couple other different people at the same time. And he just brought me on in after a while. That's all. It's just
Hell yeah, man. So out of curiosity then, When you got brought into the collective of the 144, what were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts.
Yeah, like don't give me what you think now, man, because I it's got to be different. You
Yeah,
know
when
what I
I
mean?
first got in, it was more or less like, all right, another group. Let me watch. Let me watch and see who's really going to be serious about it. One thing everybody tell you about me is that I'm serious about my craft. I only deal with people that's serious about theirs.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So let's flip that. Let's flip that, and then I'll let you ask a question, bro. I swear to God.
No, you good.
This motherfucker's been dying of COVID
I'm
forever. I
not.
don't know why,
That's
but you know, it's that COVID won't kill that killer. So I mean, he's just apparently really suffering forever. It's apparently it's a real pain in the ass.
I'm just
But
heavily medicated. You know how we do it. You know, the
Heavily
religion
medicated.
of hip hop. You know what I mean?
That's what you call it.
I wish I was in the religion of hip hop right now, but that's a different story. I'm always in the fucking yeah. I always am, but I'm not at the moment, and we'll just leave it at that. And if you can figure it out, more kudos to you. I am the unknown factor. But back to what I was saying. So comparatively, what's your opinion now of the 144? Looking at it, especially based on the fact of, I mean, it's grown. The crew has grown. There's obviously more motherfucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is it as a whole now as compared to then?
It's grown in many different directions, and I believe it's gotten better. Um, I believe we lost some of the things that we used to do that I think we're kind of getting back to, just kind of bringing it back. But it's getting better. Because it got a wide variety now. It's not just boom bap now. So
Oh wait, I need more of a specific answer as far as what you just first
what
said, man.
okay,
Yeah, I ain't you
versatility.
ain't yeah.
The
That's I ain't
versatility is there. Um, the versatility is there now to where as though he has guys from the south that have a different cadence, a different aspect, a different look on things. Um, he has a guy has a couple guys from out west, in the Midwest. I heard a lot of almost everybody. You know what I mean?
that's
And
that we out in the Midwest.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. He has 144's a movement now. Before it was
Wait,
just
look,
a crew.
can I say just real quick, and I don't mean to cut you off, Blacksmith, but being out in the Midwest, man, for real, like I was looking for some CDs a little while back, and
Mhm.
I was going fuck, I was going everywhere, dude. But I ended up in this one. I ended up in GameStop. I know there weren't no CDs in there, but I was done. I went to every place I knew there were CDs, and I was like, hey, GameStop, I'm just going there and fuck around, right? I ended up chatting with this dude, and like we had a real cool conversation about several different things, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey man, you know Judah Priest is? Yeah, bro. Oh shit, for real? You know the 144 Chosen Few? Yeah. Oh fuck, man, you want to say what's up to him? Dude, that dude, I mean for real, because I mean if you check and there's a fucking message from him where I'm like, yo, Chosen Few, check it out, man. So it's even reached out here to the Midwest to the point where some dude who I'd never met or talked to in GameStop knew
Wow.
what was up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely agree. He's expand. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had
No,
like that was
that's
dope, and it was yeah.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Before it was just a crew. Now it's more of a movement. You know what I mean? It was just a group of guys with a one young lady that actually went doing their thing, and then I was grown bigger than that. You know what I mean? That's what I give my brother props for. He's grown it from just being his boys, his friends, his people he close to, good MCs that he knows, to branching out reaching out to other people that want to come up and try to show them independent ways to do things and come together as a conglomerate and not just try to do it independently all by themselves.
Yeah, that's super rare too, like in the game to have somebody take like this many people under their wing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, how do you feel like now that it's evolved? Like, is that you be on a producer and stuff? Does that make your game a little, pressure on you because you got to expand your styles? Or are you still just doing you? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mm.
I'm called the blacksmith for a reason. When I sit down, I don't get up until I feel as though I've finished everything I feel like I have felt I've designed and hammered out. So as far as production, I got more tracks than they could ever handle. I was the type of person that did 10 tracks a day for 2 years straight.
Damn.
Man.
That's old stuff. Stuff you're hearing mostly now, it's about 10, 15 years old.
Damn.
So
Imagine
imagine.
how imagine how dope the motherfucker is now.
Exactly.
Well, so
Yeah.
when are we gonna hear some shit that's like only a year old then? That's what's up.
Actually, pick up Fire album.
Wait, wait,
Untouchable.
okay.
Man. Fire.
Okay, wait, that's dope. But can I just say, I
Go
just had a realization. It's the Mr. Smith of the 144.
ahead.
Oh
Mr.
shit!
Smith. uh, from a secret
Sorry,
weapon, huh?
it just suddenly dawned upon me. I was like, oh shit, we got Mr. Smith on our side. Man, they don't realize how fucked they are. They really, really don't. Yes,
Nah.
that's a crazy ass combination of individuals, man. But can I say though, in the process of going from an MC to an engineer, man, do you ever feel like is there ever a part of you that wants to jump back into writing?
You funny you say that.
Oh,
Menace, Menace will be easy. He's the only one right now who I've kind of did something for. Fire been trying to get me on the track. We haven't done it yet. Yeah, I really don't find. I'm really not fond of it, should I say? You know what I mean? It's like, all right, it's something I used to do. I'm not, here or there. It's not something that, because I concentrate mostly on music now. So now they tell me to get in the booth. It's more or less like, oh God, here y'all go. I got y'all that want to put me back in that bag, and I don't want to get in that bag. I got out of that bag already. Even though I can still get in it and do what I do, but I choose not to.
I wasn't trying to put you in that bag. I want to say, I was just curious of your opinion of it from going to an MC to someone that is producing and engineering. Because I mean,
Right.
I think you see that a lot as
Mhm.
far as in that. And I know it's funny because the other podcast that we run is the Questionnaire, and one of our first guests is Matt Hawkins, and that's the point. He brought up a similar point that a lot of people that are writers end up going into editing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the writers first. So it's kind of the same thing, but just with hip hop.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the similarities between those two formats, even though they're very, 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 very different. You know what I mean? I mean, one's
Yeah.
a comic book, one's a fucking album. You know?
Well, it's kind of the same thing as all art, man. You all painting a picture.
Very,
Yeah.
very true. And if you're doing hip hop and you're not painting a picture, you're not doing hip hop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just a rapper.
Now, how hard is that? Say you got somebody, you used to be a rapper, and you got somebody that's going on your beats, on your production, like you feel like it's not going hard enough on it. Do you say something, or do you kind of just keep fucking doing your thing? Because it's your production, but at the same time, like everything has to go together. You being an MC, I just kind of wonder how it is. Like, you used to be an MC. How's it feel? Like other people being on your shit.
It feels good. I like to hear people get creative. I tell people all the time, if you're just a rapper, you're not gonna like my music. But if you're an artist, we can work.
How
So I
much?
pull
How
you
much
away.
does that change, like your production? Like, say, like somebody comes in, lays something, and then like you're like, ooh, now I'm going here. You know what I mean?
A
Do you
lot,
you do that a lot? See,
a lot.
you're a real producer. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that just make beats. You know what I mean?
I tell you, I have you come in. Say if you already have something written, I put on a simple 1-2 beat track, do the verse, and I will create the whole beat while you sitting there rehearsing the verse over and over again,
Damn.
literally. And so you get in the booth, and
Yeah,
the booth is called the Ring of Fire for a reason, because when you get inside of it, it's hot as hell for a reason.
that's a real producer though. Just like DKB said, that's something you don't find commonly. Most of it typically it's just, hey,
Especially
here's a beat,
nowadays.
rap to
Yeah.
it.
Here's
Yeah.
10 beats for
Yeah.
$10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Type of shit.
I
What's
mean,
your opinion of that?
it's a good thing. I mean, everybody gotta get their hustle. Everybody and mama making music now. Everybody they got so many things out right now that will takes kind of the artistry out of it. it sounds like, of a machine, automatic machine, because everybody's using the same samples, the same loop, same mini pack. I mean, it's funny when you hear a sample and you be like, okay, that same sample such and such used, same sample he used, same sample. Like, that's not creative to me. You're not a producer. That's not being a producer to me. At least that's my opinion on it.
Right. Like I
So
remember telling a dude,
ostensibly, oh,
dude
go
was asking like about where to find some good samples. I told him to go digging in the crates. He didn't know. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Like digging in the like I don't know what you like. I'm like, for real? Like it's gone to that? You know what I mean? Like
That
I
it
feel like
has.
that's kind of what's missing in hip hop. Like back in the days, it was the crew, the whole crew was the forefront, and then it got to where it was the MC. Now it kind of seems like it's the producers the forefront. If you ain't got a hot beat, then it's like it don't matter. You know what I mean? How hot
Yeah.
the flow is.
Yeah. So I mean, that's as far as what the industry pushing. If you really look underground, you'll find it's a little different from that. But if you look at as far as industry goes, yeah, you got to have one of them one of those old hot producers, and that makes it a hot track. You know what I mean? Because his name's attached to it, and he may not. And the only thing about that, he may not even produce that track. It may
True.
be just use his name. One thing about my production company, One Lock Incorporated, I have several other producers underneath me, and I want them. One thing I agreed with them was like, look, only thing I want you to do is put One Lock after your name. I want whatever production you want, your name will be there with One Lock after it. But most production companies won't do that with producers. But like Dre is for example, I love Dre to death, but he had almost everybody that's out right now, the big hot producers right now, was underneath him. But yet you didn't
Right.
know about that. It was always Dre did this, Dre did that, Dre did this. Most of the time it wasn't Dre, it was someone else.
Right.
It never gave people their credit, and that's the reason why I chose to do One Lock. That's the reason I chose to do One Lock and say One Lock is stronger than one strand, because it's a group of us, and I wanted all of us to be up front, not just with one person. You know.
Right.
hell yeah, man. Can I say too? I feel
That,
like with everything that you've just said, man. Uh, like in all sincerity, you ostensibly would love that motherfucker's studio. Cause look behind him. Do you see all that? You see all that, Smith? You see all that? You see all them things you would probably just like if he's got albums that you don't, I wouldn't be that surprised. I've seen his fucking collection. It
what you
is
talking about,
absurd.
man? Yeah, I do got
Yeah,
some.
I'm talking
See,
about you, which is
Yeah, those are some OGs back there too.
I see. I'm looking at him. I was already checking it all out. Like, wow.
yeah, oh dude, my brother's got a ridiculous collection of vinyl, man. And I mean it's like he said, it's because he's go searching in the crate for samples, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And just based on what you
ridiculous.
said, I feel like that's something you do a lot. It's like, and you're simply saying like motherfuckers are like, oh well, I know this one sample's hot, so I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it, as opposed to being a real producer. And look, I say this not being a producer. Both the other motherfuckers in here have made beats prolifically. I know for a fact. I've rapped on a fucking shitload that my brother has made. And yo, man, we'd love to work with you in the future. That's a fact, man. It's
No
Most
going to go
shit.
definitely.
for all goddamn day. Um, but like, I feel like you guys ostensibly do that. And like, how often do you find yourself just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this vinyl and I'm gonna look through it and see if I can find something. Like, is that something you do
I
often, daily? Like,
I used to do it at least 3 times a week. I've kind of stopped because I've been doing so much other production, and because right now, a lot of production right now, if we're trying to do drill and stuff like that, there's no real samples in it, so you got to actually construct it. But
ah,
I do go back and grab my sample. I do go back. I got a ton of drums that I done pulled off of break beats, um, just to give you that sound, even though um, it's actually a different it's a different drum pattern, but you know the drums because you know the song. It's a subliminal trick that a lot of people don't understand. You use the
no,
funky
hell yeah.
drummer drums, but yet program it in another way. But your subconsciously you'll always be hearing a funky drummer. You always want to dance to it. Yeah,
Hell
tricks,
yeah.
I wonder
tricks
what
of the
I
trade.
wonder what BPM that is because like I watched a thing not too long ago and it was talking like like the human like frequency or whatever, like the it was like 92 or like whatever it
92, it's
was.
between
And it's
92
like
and
that's when we
96.
start getting dancing.
Yeah,
It's crazy because you think about like sometimes I'll spit on slower shit and you don't feel it, but just a little bit more, and then all of a sudden
but
it's like, yeah, we getting rocking now. It's kind of crazy.
it's like from 94 up to 110.
That's
That's what
wild.
it is. That's that dance space.
I love how you just know that, Smith. Like for real, it's like, oh no, this is the BPM you use.
Mhm.
Do you? How much relevance do you think the actual BPM has as far as when you're making a track, man? I mean, do you think?
A lot.
Okay, okay. Well, then let me ask you another question. How many MCs or rappers do you think just aren't even fucking aware of what a BPM is?
Some of them don't even know what a bar is. So how can they know what a
Oh
beat?
my fucking god! Why is all this going together so well with this fucking show, bro?
That's how it works. That's
Yeah,
144. That's why it's a
because
chosen
it is.
world, man. It's like a
Holy shit.
matrix. That's why we got
It
Mr.
is.
Smith on our side.
Yeah, seriously, man. It is the
Shit.
fucking Matrix in this bitch. And I say that because the last episode, man, like I said, we had lights out on. And he was saying like he don't necessarily like he knows what a bar is, but he don't necessarily write that way. Which whatever, as long as you know what it is, that's what's up. You know how to deal with it.
Right.
That's what's up. But then like I was telling him, I know I've dealt with motherfuckers, and you tell them 16 bars, and they're like,
What?
huh? Like
Yeah.
it's a moment of like it's like I'm trying to. And I say this as somebody who started doing this shit when I was 32, and I'll be talking to a motherfucker from this area. If you're from this area and you got a fucking problem with what I'm saying, it's F you, not UF. You can fuck off. Right? I don't give a shit. Let's make it clear. Fours are up. I can you can fucking stick this fucking finger up on your fucking own hand and shove it up your ass. Cause learn what a fucking beat is, you dumbass, if you want to fucking be an MC. Um, I mean, I've literally ran across so many people, dude. I tell that to, and like I said, I'll be doing. I've done this 20 fucking years. Well, then why the fuck do I know 1,000 times more than you do, dude? Like, why do you feel it is like? Why do you feel it is there's so many people? So let me phrase this into a question because it obviously fucking wasn't. Why do you feel there are so many people that get into this and don't respect the fucking culture of it and the mathematics of it and the beauty that it is, man, the structures you can make, the flows, the patterns. I don't fucking understand it, man. This is pissing me off a little if you didn't notice,
I
Smith. My
am.
bad.
You about to say, about to pop a bud this smoothie, you all right?
Yeah. I'm cool. I'm cool. I might need a little of what my brother's got and haven't had none in a while, but that's besides the point.
Got you. But as far as answering that,
That.
most people don't. They say they don't study the craft. Study the craft. It's the fact the industry has pushed sugar coated and basically what they call it manufactured the same product over and over again. That because what they see on the TV and what's pushed at them all the time, that's all they think it is. They just think, okay, I need a beat like this, and this the way everybody's rapping. I gotta rap like this.
All right, check. Oh, dude, Jesus Christ! Why? Like, this is the second time you've related to the Matt Hawkins interview I did because he said extensively that movie and television has done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They're all following the same format because they know it works, right? And I'm just gonna say, like, I don't understand that because just like in the interview that I did with Matt, like, look, if I'm watching something and it makes an unexpected twist, that's cool as hell, man. I don't want to sit and know everything I watch because you know what? That's not what life is like,
Yes,
right?
but is what they thinking about is easy money. It's easy to remake something 20 times, and if people keep coming to see it, why change it?
That's exactly what Matt said. That is exactly what Matt Hawkins said,
I'm
bro. I
sorry.
shit you not.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's the COO and head editor of Top Cow. So, and it's funny that you guys are in such different. I mean, you're both artists, and you're both in the entertainment industry. We all are in that regard, but it's just funny to hear it from two completely different aspects of the entertainment industry. Like things that you probably wouldn't think related that much,
Right.
when really they do to a degree that's kind of unraveling to
So,
a certain
how
degree.
is for you being a producer? How hard is it for you not to fall into that category and
Hmm.
just kind of keep making, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, like you want to, get hot too. And that's the whole point of like we all doing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the whole thing about me, I know for a fact I go about a little bit different than a lot of other producers. Um, I've been in producer crews. I've been sat down with some top notch producers that's, in the industry doing their thing, and they heard a lot of my stuff. Like, yo, how'd you do that? What you mean? How'd I do what? What you do? I said, how'd I do what? And I would never. I would usually like give them a runaround, never really tell them what I did. And sometimes I do,
Mhm.
but usually it's usually in a way where as though they be like, oh, that's too much work, even though it's maybe one or two twists of a button. I work with frequencies. Most producers don't work with frequencies.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what kind of separates me from a lot of other producers. I really work with frequencies. I listen to an MC, be like, all right, he's saying good on this frequency.
And what a
I
lot of
try to
people don't know, that's the key to life right there,
exactly,
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than music.
exactly.
Why
You
do
know,
you think it is that so many producers don't worry about that, man? Because I know even as, and because like my brother just said, man, that's key. And even as an MC, I know that. And look, I in no way, shape, or form am a producer or an engineer. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am. My brother is. He can do that shit,
mhm.
right? I don't in no capacity, but I am completely aware that frequency is key. Why in the fuck do you think there are producers out there that are just like,
because somebody neighborhood told him to eat the shit. That's why. I blew his head all up like you the shit, man. You the shit. Okay.
mm,
Just like in Juice when he went to DJ in front of Queen Latifah, Queen Latifah was like, yeah, local. You're real local. That's what that meant. Your boy's telling you hot, but you ain't get out of your city yet. You ain't do nothing out of your city. Nobody really heard of you, but your boy, so you feel as though you hot, and you do it, and you're just doing repetition of things that everything that's already out there.
Yeah.
ah,
Yes, man.
yeah. Hey, can I say real quick? I'm pretty goddamn confident that there ain't no yes men in the 144.
I'd hope not.
We're kind of some assholes if you really want to
I was
boil down to
I was say more
it.
assholes than anything else.
Which look, if I'm gonna be around a group of MCs that I want to call peers, right? Which
Yeah,
in the
Right.
144, that is definitely the case, man. For real. That's my fucking family. Like, I want them, like, if they hear a verse of mine and I'm not delivering factor, like that unknown isn't there. Like, what do you like? I want to be like, the fuck are you doing, Factor? Like I know he's called me out on shit, and I know I've called him out on shit before at points. And like, hey man,
Right.
that's no, dude. That's yeah,
that's what you're
like
supposed to do.
yeah. And I mean, I just don't. Man, there's part of my brain that doesn't understand why you would try and hype someone up when you know they could be better if you critique them. And I've seen that a lot of times, man. So let me ask, how many people have you seen that just can't even take constructive criticism within this shit?
A lot.
I do the facial expression you made before
Hmm.
you answered that question was priceless. Like,
And how many of those people are still doing this shit today?
mm,
Some of them are. Actually, some of them truly are because they just following their own lane because they found their lane and just sat in it.
Hmm.
If you find your lane, run in your lane. If you can't, run a 50-mile-a-yard dash, don't try to do it. Maybe your
Right.
lane is 10 yards. Run that 10 yards. There, that 10 yards. Every couple 10 yards, keep running it. And that's a couple of them done, but a lot of them have fell off because they didn't stay consistent and they didn't have couldn't. I put it like this, they couldn't find a voice.
Right.
Most MCs don't realize you got to find your voice, find your flow, find your niche. Once you find your niche, then you're okay.
but let me ask you, as a producer and an engineer, then, and someone that rapped previously, what do you think it takes for an MC to do that? For an MC to really find where they fit and what their voice is, man. Because I mean, I would like to say I found mine. I think it helped that I started when I was 32. I don't know what would have happened if I would have started like when DKB did and I started off. I mean, sincerely, bro, because I just had a lot of different life experiences and
Right.
like
I get it.
You know what I mean? So by the time I started when I was 32 and I went to a show and was like, all these fuckers suck, I'm gonna rap. Because that's what
Yeah.
happened. I don't give a shit, man. That's what happened. And then I ended up fucking running into like the most lyrical motherfucker in Indiana, and we made Killa Factor. You know what I mean? I like it just formed, you know.
Yes.
What do you think it takes for someone to find that in regards? And do you think like age is a factor as far as, you know, when you jump in, how long you jump in, anything?
Nah, age is not really a factor to me. I know that for a fact.
Well, I meant as
Most
far as in finding your voice. Like, do you
finding
think it's more
finding your voice,
yeah.
it's
Do you think it's more
still not a
difficult for like
factor.
a
It's
oh, well,
to,
no, do you think it's more difficult for like a 16 or like someone from like 16 to 25 as opposed to someone from like 25 to 35?
okay. Now, let me start. Let me answer the question first, and then
You
we'll go.
got you.
Okay. Um, First, to find a voice. First, for me, for MC to actually find his voice, he has to speak his story, their story, whatever their story is. Not regurgitate someone else's story. Not regurgitate someone else's rhyme scheme. No one's going to believe you if it's not yours, because you're not going to say it for someone to believe. You're going to just be rapping. You're not going to be you're not going to be delivering a message. You're just going to be talking. And as far as age, it doesn't matter. Only reason I say, you starting at 35 give you a little bit of advantage of somebody between 15 and 25 is because your life experience. You got more to write about, more life
Hey,
experience.
I started at 32, dude. Don't age me any more than
Okay,
I already
32.
am.
Yeah.
My fault,
Please,
32.
please, Smith, I'm old
Yeah.
enough, man.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
I don't need you using your matrix powers and making my ass fucking older, Mr. Smith. Would you calm down?
All right, yeah. It's
Oh
just
shit.
your life experience. That's what I tell every MC that come around me. Give me a life, give me a true story. At least you can put some fiction in it, but make the majority of it true and that you truly feel. Use this booth as your psychiatrist.
Yo,
Something off your
you're
chest,
right,
get in there
bro.
and say it.
Because right there, my common
Exactly.
sense is tingling. Yeah. It's so true. But man, I didn't quite catch the time when we started this interview, DKB.
No, we about a half hour in.
Okay, okay, then I was about to fuck up. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's I was like, yeah, I was just trying to make
It's
sure
not
I wasn't
that
fucking
time
up
yet.
something.
It's all right.
All right, man. Sometimes the unknown just wants to jump in the fucking gun. I can't help it.
It happens.
It's fucking Ted. He's an asshole. Whatever. We'll get into that shit later, right? So I'm curious, man, as a producer then, when you're dealing with an artist, do you like when you're working with them, do you like to see more just a single, or do you want to see them like really put together a whole project? Because that's something we've got into previously, because especially with the industry now, singles have become way more of a thing, and like actual albums have become way less of a thing. To the point where I couldn't even find Method Man, Redman, Blackout in this town, which pissed me off.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different point. Ugh.
It's about right now. It's about the microwave age. Pop it in, get it done, and then go ahead and forget about it. And that's what I miss about everything. I miss the picking up the album, taking it out, reading all the information inside, finding up, reading the lyrics. They had the lyrics inside, reading all the producer, the artwork, who did this, who did that. You know what I mean? Okay, you go on digital internet, you see it, but it's nothing like spilling a paper, feeling a vinyl. It's nothing like that.
That's
Yeah.
how you keep relating to to Matt Hawkins. I want to point out, it really, really, it's amusing, dude, because he said the same thing as far as in format to comics. It's just different to have it in hand, and I agree with that in both formats, man. Like, look, I fucking from CDs to like I prefer a physical format. So does my brother, obviously, because look at his vinyl collection.
You ain't the only person.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. Like, like that's how I am. I crack open. Who produces? And then it's like,
Right,
oh, I
exactly.
seen that guy on this CD before, or like, oh, I recognize that. Now I got to listen to it. Oh yeah, that is his type of beat.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
like,
know what I
oh
mean?
man, that's George such and such on the bass, but he on this record too. Oh yeah, there was a little turnaround he always does. They're the type of things you look for. But see, that's a producer type thing. Like I hear music totally different than a lot of people. I Fire's been around me enough to tell me that she hate me now. I don't feel like because you don't like listen to her favorite songs anymore because I kind of
Oh
trained her
shit!
ear to
Oh,
a
I love.
production ear, so she hears a lot of the mistakes. She's like, "How do you?" I said, "How do I deal with it?" Those you consider them mistakes. I consider them part of the song. They're part of the element of the song. That mistake. That's what the digital age is missing. Some of that mistakes. Some of those mistakes. Some of that bass player slipped up and hit an E key instead of a G key. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely really robotic nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what that's what I miss. A guy just hopping on a piano. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we seen more of that, man. I'm curious. What do you think would it take for us to? I want to say take back. No, fuck that. I'm gonna say take back this bullshit and bring it to what it should be, as opposed to because look, fuck your lean, dude. If all you're doing is sitting there talking about fucking drinking lean, all you're doing is fucking up society, you piece of shit. And don't
Well,
talk
that's
about
just one
doing
little
shit.
genre. I don't know why you keep popping
Well,
on lean.
I
I mean, that's
know,
just how
I know,
rap.
man.
Back in the days, it
You
was
keep
like.
popping on
Back
lean.
in the days, it was like, don't do crack on my block. We gonna kick your ass. And then it was, I gotta sell crack to fucking support my family. And then it got to the point where it's like, this is how you cook crack. And then it got to the point where it's like, I smoke crack. And now it's to the point where it's
Yeah.
like, I am crack. You motherfuckers,
Yeah.
smoke me. I'm so
So
dope.
that's
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like it's just
But
kind of the
see,
evolution of
yeah, it's the
shit.
evolution, but also it's some of the stuff that was said was kind of creative because it wasn't meant as being direct as it was. Some of the stuff was more or less directing and more or less like they wasn't really talking about crack, they was actually talking about something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um I know a couple songs where as though you think they're talking about one thing and they're actually not. They're completely on some other topic, you know. So I understand what you're talking about, that genre of repetitive money holes and clothes, as they say.
Yeah. Money, yeah. And I mean,
It's
there's a
because
place for it. I'm not saying there's not a place for it.
yeah,
Don't get me
it
wrong
is.
in that, man. There's a place for everything in this world. But it's like there's a place for reality TV, but it shouldn't be the main thing fucking playing all the goddamn time.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said.
And it's the same thing with the caliber of hip hop I'm talking about. And sure, there's a place for it, but it shouldn't
It's
be the main fucking thing
But
playing.
Well,
see,
it's because
also
the industry's ran by lawyers and accountants and bank, guys. It's not ran
they're
by a
ran by
musician.
numbers.
Yeah.
Whoever I can manipulate to bring the the quickest crowd in and the quickest money in, that's what I'm going to push. I'm going to promote, and I'm going to keep on pushing it. And if the
So
artist is not smart enough to have themselves covered, who can I fuck over the best?
So I mean, that's what it ostensibly boils down to: is that
Yeah,
money got into this, and they went, "Hey, who can we fuck over to make money off of?" And then they get this little bit of money, and we're going to take this huge chunk of money, which really should be theirs had they taken the time to build this independently with longevity. They would have
exactly.
had all this money, as opposed to sign with us and hey, we take fucking 90% of your money. This is
Right.
why this is why fours are up. Right there. That is
Hmm.
exactly why fours are up all day, every day, because that's what Judah's doing in
Yeah,
this.
like how much you think the industry hates people like us because we're starting this conglomerates. We're not
Hmm.
playing their game.
Exactly. But
Is
see,
that hurt
they
us?
no, it doesn't really hurt us. The whole thing about you got to understand is that we have our lane of our own. They're scared because they're part of their illusion of the business. The veil has been lifted. The veil has
I
been
thought
lifted when people telling you don't need them. Why are
Hmm.
you giving them, like Pitmaster P said, why would I give you $2 million to go promote my record when somebody else gave you $2 million? That person, I mean, somebody, you got like $8 million go take all our records to this one place when I can do it myself.
Hmm.
Let me go keep my $2 million in my pocket, go do it myself, and make the money back. Why am I giving you $2 million to do something I can actually do myself? That's
or
the problem.
or you get a fucking dope ass crew of motherfuckers together,
Exactly.
right? That's
I
all
mean, how much you
talented.
think like
Yeah.
money like affects that? Like back in the day, like it was all like you said, it was physical. Everything we had to buy CD. They had to get pressed up. You
Mm-hmm.
had to pay for everything the whole way.
Right.
Nowadays, it's more like I can do
It's
everything
more.
myself in house for cheap as I can and still get it out there.
That's
So
it's always been.
is the money still there? Yeah,
Yeah, the money's still there.
obviously, like, oh, where's all this money going? You know what I mean? Where is all this fucking money? Because
The money
obviously,
is still.
there's
Spotify.
a big chunk of money somewhere.
The money's still there.
Spotify.
It's just the fact you just gotta like everybody talk. My pet peeve right there. Spotify.
Well, I know
It,
I did, man. Who the fuck did? Come on, man. Like who?
no,
I
the
don't
only
think
thing I
Like
any
say
of
is
us like that.
now I would now only thing about Spotify. Everybody want to promote Spotify like Spotify is the best thing running,
Right.
but Spotify pays you the
Less.
fourth least.
Yeah.
So why are you promoting something that's not paying you? That's my
Mhm.
biggest point. I said it to every artist. Why are you promoting something that's not paying you? Why?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, why? Because when I first released the single, the instrumental CD I did it on Tidal. He said, why did you do Tidal? Tidal and Napster. So Napster paid the most, and the next one underneath that is Tidal.
See, that's what I heard. Like, Title paid the most, and like Jay
Yeah,
Z's tied into Title. You would think like, I mean, it's still like a low ass fucking number. Like,
it is. It's
you would
still a
think
low
Jay
number,
being an artist that he was
but he
would,
didn't have. He
yeah.
bought it. You gotta understand. He brought it. He didn't make it. He brought it, and the industry is always going to wiggle their way in. It's still a industry wiggling their way in, but just like now, this NFT thing, most
oh
independent artists ain't
god.
thinking about it. But no, you listen to me. I know a young lady I know that made $30,000 last month just off of it.
Damn.
But
Exactly.
you know,
So the money
okay,
is there. You just gotta know where to go and where to find your gold.
okay. Here's my thing about NFTs. They fuck our environment up. Okay, like,
That they
and
do.
it's literally a game of delusion for ones and zeros, and that money is so. And I know it can become real quickly, and that's fine. But is it really worth us as a society trying to ostensibly peddle little amounts of money from these billionaires? No, I'm to the point where it's eat the rich. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just
I
me,
got
Mr.
you.
Smith,
Understand
but
that.
I mean, fucking, because it's them ostensibly nickel and diming us to have us make this planet worse, which is really screwy. And there's part of me that is an artist is like, I don't understand if you're for the planet, how you would be okay with this.
Right.
Because it's all a quick
Maybe
money
that's
scheme.
extreme.
It's
I,
you know what I mean? Too many people just jumping on the quick bucks, man. I mean,
Yeah.
or people just don't care because like it might not affect us. You know what I mean?
It's not affecting them. It's not. They're not dumping it in their backyard, so they don't care.
It's the same thing with electric vehicles they want, you know what I mean? But you have to
Exactly.
mine the battery. They say like I don't know where it was, like France or something. They use somewhere the taxis. They're all electric, and when they're
Mm-hmm.
done, they just toss them out because it's cheaper just to go buy a new car than it is to replace the battery.
Place
You
it
know what I
there.
mean?
Exactly.
And that's just more mining, more money, and
Exactly. More
more.
mining. More and more mining. Nothing being recycled. Just dumped in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Just throw it out and keep it going.
do
And
you
if
think
you
that's
notice most.
happened to the hip hop
Hmm?
community?
Yes, it has. How many of these young MCs do you think gonna have a career over 4 years?
I don't know, but I already did.
It's like an NFL running back. You know what I mean?
Well,
Exactly.
You only got so long. You better get the
yeah,
fuck out.
you
Unless you're
you as a hip
consistent.
hop,
Yeah.
yeah, but
And
you
how
as a
many
hip
and
hop
how many of them
artist.
are true? How many are truly consistent that don't have a big money behind them that's actually taking at least that crazy deals they got there, that turnaround, that 360 deal. You know what I mean? That one
Yeah.
that tell you that they own your rights to your music, no, own the rights to your music for a lifetime, and they get they get part of you in whatever you make, and also if your music get played anywhere in the universe, to get part of it. Like who
I,
who does that to people?
Yeah, that's dirty, man.
uh, some corporate a hole.
Yeah,
Here's all
exactly.
this money, and we want it back, and interest.
Hmm.
And if you don't sell this
Yeah.
amount, we ain't gonna sign you to another deal. Or like,
Mhm.
what's crazy to me is like how many artists just get set in the shelves for their whole career because just one thing happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Let's take this to a different level of something I have some slight personal experience with that I'm curious of your opinion, Smith, with so that happens on a larger scale. But sometimes in the smaller underground that we work within, some dude who runs a label will sign somebody under a contract, and fuck you if you're watching this, you piece of shit. Um, and say, hey man, I'll get your album all done, and I'll cover all the production and everything and all this, and then you literally hand them an album that's totally fucking done. He didn't do shit to. It was just handed to them, and then you pretty much get fucked and have to pretty much bite the dude's head off to deal with your shit. Why the fuck do you think we're even fucking each other at that level?
Because we watched the industry do it to other people, and that's how the industry made their money. So that's how you want to try to base it around something that ain't broken, and that's a selfish way of thinking. But that's what, when cats do that, that's their thinking. This is the way the industry run. I'm not going to change this. If I may get him to sign to me, I mean, I get all his money, so why not? But karma, when karma comes back around,
Yeah, karma
you know,
does come back around,
that's
Mr.
the whole
Smith.
thing. Like,
He's
like
he's
you know,
yeah, he's right. That's just I just don't get it because I mean, like I said, you explained that at a mainstream portion. I had that happen, like the exact situation I just explained to you, dude. I had happen to me fairly early on. It was really, really annoying. Shout out to Chris Pope from Project Born for helping me deal with that bullshit. Because it was a pain in my ass. Uh, but yeah, I just don't get, man. I don't know. I guess it's when I see somebody like that that it's maybe they just don't truly understand what hip hop culture is at that point. Because I feel like if you look at hip hop culture and you do understand it, and God knows over the past 6 years I've had such a greater comprehension than I did when I was 32. Because I've always loved fucking hip hop, but I've gotten way more into it in the past 6 years and just understood it at a greater depth, especially based on the MCs that I've had the chance to interview as well as work with and engineers, everything, man. I mean, do you think that's a problem that like the culture has just really, really been lost somewhere, and there's only certain portions where it's left?
okay. Um, Hip hop is a whole culture within itself, and you're only gonna
All right,
find
well,
pockets within it, and inside those pockets gonna be other smaller pockets. But the industry has found the most negative pocket to magnify it, to say that's their whole culture.
that
mm,
makes sense.
There's
That
no
that makes
balance anymore. Think about it. When you was younger,
yeah.
it was a balance on the radio. You could have an MC saying, talking about his love he got for something, love he got for his girl. You know what I mean? You had a song talk about, let's go back to Africa and things like that. You had these positive things going on with the negative things at the same time.
mhm.
We had a balance, so you had a choice between listen to NWA, listen to listen to Public Enemy, listen to Outkast, listen to what's the boy Muggs used to
Cypress Hill, Soul
Cypress Hill.
Assassins.
Cypress,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Cypress Hill. You know, you had
Yeah.
your choice to
What's
choose from.
crazy, like, I think it's different nowadays. Like back in the day, like everybody you heard sounded different. Like
Yeah,
everybody was different. You could tell when you
that
heard that person who it was. Nowadays, it's like I don't know. Like I mean, of course, I got a teenager. He's 14, almost
mhm,
15. So like he listens to a lot of younger, drill
mhm.
shit and like shit like I don't even know, but he gets me on. But I jam to it like whatever. But there's times where I'm like I can't tell if it's so and so or so and so, and I really like those
Exactly.
artists because they all sound the same. Like I don't know
That's
how
that. And the
how we
crazy
got to
part,
that.
I can tell you that happened around the 90s. Only reason I say that, producer that I know, a good friend of mine, Chuck Nice. Um, it's when I was still kind of spacing out of rapping. He was like, "Look," he said, "I like that." I had this other boy who I used to be with me all the time, and Chuck was like, "I like your man." He said, "But you got to make him sound like such and such if you want him to get a deal."
Mm,
That's what the industry started telling everybody that wanted a deal. You had to sign with such and such if you want a deal. And they spread it around like wildfire, so everybody started sounding the same because they was looking for someone to sound like Buster. They was looking for someone to sound like Redman. They was looking for someone that sounds like someone else.
Yeah.
The
So they wanted to kill
the hottest thing out
creativity.
there.
They wanted to kill creativity. Then
They just want to
that
cook.
sounds pretty. Yeah, that sounds pretty industrial.
Yeah,
America
exactly. They,
for you.
you know, they assembly. What it is, they want the assembly line of the exact same thing, but just with a different face.
Yeah, like
That's
I've heard stories of like people going in the studio like doing shit and like another artist will go in there and they'll like steal their whole thing. Like pretty much take their whole song or their pretty like you said, like Dre using other people's beats, putting his name on it. Like let's circle back to that. Like the Super Bowl, like he didn't even make all those beats. Like how would you feel as a producer being up there like
Oh my
the
God.
masses think you made all these beats, but like people like me are arguing like he didn't make that 50 beat. That was Scott Storch. Or you know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Like how could you be up there? Like you're supposed to be like the producer of producers.
Yeah.
How did you feel as a producer, like seeing like somebody that big just kind of like it's almost like it's awesome that he got there, but at the same time, like that's not even on your shit, bro.
That's the reason why I think. That's the reason why I do my production. That's why the reason I do my production company the way I do it. Because I watched him was like, look, that ain't cool.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody told me I can't wait for Dre next album. Dre next album ain't coming out because everybody left him.
Yeah.
And that's just the point blank. I don't care what anybody say. The only reason his album is not dropped is because everybody left him. All his top producers left him. His major writer who was writing for him stopped talking to him for a while.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it. Everybody didn't realize that. Like his major writer was DLC. Everybody didn't believe me back now. It's DLC right for everybody. I was like, no, I'm like, look.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen to DLC Helter Skelter album. He made Missy Elliott sound like Rage. He made somebody else sound like Dre. He did it on purpose.
After that car accident.
That was a straight design on purpose to let y'all know, like, look, this is me. This is what I did for them.
Yeah, damn.
But that's industry. That's the industry game.
Can I ask this real quick, man? I want to know, what do you think of an MC that uses a ghostwriter?
It's all right. To me, it's all right. But you got a ghostwriter, you better not ever say you're the best MC in the world. You better not ever say that. Because as soon as I see you say as soon as you say someone I say you got a ghostwriter, you better shut them off. You're the best reciter in the world.
Yeah, you might be. You might
Oh
be
shit!
top.
You're the best reciter in the
top.
world.
You might make some like good songs, but yeah, you can't as an MC. You can't look at somebody like that.
You're the best reciter. You're not
right.
the best. You're not the best rapper. You're not. No, you're the best reciter. Is what you are. I'm sorry, and I say that to any MC face that I don't care. I'm like, look, okay, yeah, you good, but you're a good reciter. You will never be considered the best. Why? Because you didn't sit down and put your life and your pain in those lines. That's somebody else's life and they pain. You just able to recite it real well. That's all.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine writing something for somebody either. That's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just
it can
weird.
be. I mean,
it almost like you have to dumb your own shit down.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You just got to know the person. I did it for a couple people. That's why I know.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just thinking about writing something and then somebody else just taking it.
Yeah. Somebody else
actually write, you know who you're writing.
See, that also comes from the MC not understanding. Before you go in the studio, make sure you got the copyrights already done to your paper before you step in that studio that you don't know that you're going to. You got to have your paperwork done. So when you step in there, you take it. Okay, cool. Go ahead, take it. Put it out there. My copyright's already done 3 years ago. So if you say you made yours then, no. Here it is right here. Legal documents that this is mine. So all that money you just made, you need to bring over here.
Yeah.
Can I say too? You make a real valid point.
I was gonna say like the 144 too. Like with there's a lot of shit like Judah was like,
Yeah.
And like paperwork shit like that we had no clue about. Like what you know what I mean? Like what's this? What's this number? What's this IPI number or whatever? Like what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like artists like us don't know what the hell you talking about.
And for real,
and like I can't believe like the love, like you know what I mean? Like crazy,
like they say, it's the music business. It should be
Well,
business of music is what it should be called.
and see, that's
You
the
know what I
thing,
mean?
though. I'm curious of your opinion of this, man. I know I've talked to Draven and Judah about this topic. Just not just I mean just phone conversations we've had or whatever. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I feel like for some reason people stopped teaching younger artists the business. And I say that specifically because I encountered it when I jumped in. I know for a fact my brother encountered it. Like and much love to Judah, man. I cannot like sincerely there's so many things that Judah has been helpful with in
Mhm.
the entirety of even us just as Killa Factor because he's taught me things that I didn't know were necessary, but I
Okay.
know now. You know what I mean? Just as far as the processing paperwork and everything, making sure everybody gets their splits, blah, 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 like all
Right.
the massive amount of paperwork that you have to do be proper for it to be proper.
Right.
Why do you think it is that older MCs suddenly were like, yeah, fuck off and rap and then fuck off? And didn't teach the business side? Do you think it was just the whole thing that they were trying to earn
No.
more money from this, or what? Or was it like, yeah,
Well, some of them was just, like I said, regurgitating what was done to them. And some of them was just, some of them really didn't know. Some of them really were in crazy deals that they really did not know about that. There's certain things I know certain people that's in the industry that got, really jerked, should I say. Whereas though somebody owns the rights to a song that they wrote for over 20 years. When now the song is no longer being played, now they want to give you the rights to it. Like all these rappers talking about, I got my masters. If you don't know what to do with your masters, you just own your masters. If you don't know how to make them masters make you make money, help you make money, should I say, you had you had your product, but you have nothing. You have gold sitting there and don't know what to do with it. Have no clue.
it's like you got no smelter, motherfucker. You can't make this into a ring and go sell it now. You just got a raw brick of gold. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and I think it's funny, man, because I honestly didn't quite expect that answer, but it honestly doesn't surprise me either, just based on the dealings I had and the people that I've dealt with, especially when we were running NFGR previously, or like I said, when I was shortly signed to a label, and just
Well,
how all of that was handled. Like I can see the difference from that as compared to how Judah runs things. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Where it is business correct, and like I said, it's taught me a great deal. So that's kind of depressing. It
See,
really is.
a lot of people don't want to be mentors. A lot of people don't know how to be a mentor. They just want to be the man.
Well,
You know.
I know one thing. DKB, what do you
Yeah,
think?
it might be time.
Yeah, I think
That's
I think it is time to spike this interview up
All right.
just a hair. Yeah, that means it's time for Killa Factor's conundrum of questions. Who the fuck started it on the last episode?
I don't remember.
Well, whatever, man. I want to know. You got some Chinese food in front of you. You using forks or chopsticks?
Chopsticks.
All right.
Anime or cartoons?
Anime.
Favorite anime?
Favorite anime? That's a good one. Ultraman.
Nice.
Favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
Favorite sea animal?
Killer whale.
Oh, I love the orca. That's what's
Favorite color?
We say?
Favorite color?
Favorite color is green.
Favorite food? Excellent color.
Salmon.
Wait,
Favorite city or state?
We say? Favorite city or state?
Yeah.
Right now is Jersey and Sicklerville.
favorite? Oh, dude, I'm gonna piss. If you answer this quickly, you gonna piss somebody off. Favorite artist you've ever produced and engineered?
My favorite artist ever produced and engineered got to be Fire Nation Flames.
Oh, nice. You can check out her interview 2 episodes ago, just so y'all know, on The Chosen World.
Yeah, one artist you could pick any artist dead or alive that you want to work with.
Could have been Pac.
Oh, nice. If you're gonna sit down and read something, you going like a comic book? Or do you want a book?
What type? It all depends what type of mood I'm in. If I feel like I want to just venture out and not really think about life, I grab the comic book. I just want to go out in outer space somewhere and just imagine something else. But I'm doing my self-help like I usually do a lot of times. I grab a regular book, some kind of self-help book. I got a lot of those around.
Are aliens real?
Judah must have answered that question, huh?
No, but that's an awesome segue. He said, no, he
Um,
didn't, but that's an awesome segue. I have to ask Judah about that.
Yeah, look.
Okay,
I'm gonna
when
give
you
a little
talk to
tell.
Judah, just say, be woke, stay woke. The Geechee's coming. You know what you mean.
The Geechee's
All
coming.
right.
All right.
We gonna have that'll
Judah,
be
you
episode
watching?
10, so
You better
y'all
stay
know.
woke,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, stay woke, bro. Stay woke, because it's coming. Episode 10, Killa Factor of the Conundrum. Yeah, but all right. So how about favorite comic book character?
Favorite comic book character? It's a toss up between Wolverine and Omega.
Omega Red.
Yeah, Omega Red. Yes.
Omega Red, dude, bro. I love that answer.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
a
believe
good one.
somebody actually threw out
Yeah,
Omega Red.
that's like a curveball.
Yeah,
That's a curve.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, yeah.
You got one more on deck?
One more. Favorite movie genre.
Favorite movie? Sci-fi.
Oh, dude, I gotta add one more than favorite sci-fi flick.
Favorite sci-fi flick? Oh, sheesh. Recent old. I can't remember.
Come on. What one that you watched recently that you were like, damn?
Oh, what's the name of it? Crafts? What's it? It's on HBO. Something Crafts. I can't think of it.
H.P. Lovecraft's.
Lovecraft. That's what it is. Yeah. I like the twists and turns in that. That's what really had me with that one.
Wait, is that a series?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't. I didn't know they did an H.P. Lovecraft series. So I love that also occasionally doing these podcasts. I find some dope shit I can entertain my goddamn self with when I'm not doing a motherfucking podcast. But this has been episode 5 of The Chosen World with that Blacksmith man, the exclusive engineer and producer of the 144. Remember, one lock, way better than one strand, because one strand
Stronger than one
like
strand. Not better, stronger.
It's better too, though.
It's better, but stronger.
Yeah, my bad. I fucked it up a little. I need to smoke something, and I haven't in a while. Whatever, life has been wild. But look, it can be, and this is The Chosen World, right? Before we cut out, Blacksmith, can I just get you to be like, yo, this is Blacksmith. You're listening to the Chosen World podcast, and then talk a little shit.
Yo, this is the Blacksmith. You listen to Chosen One podcast. You know, the best thing around, the best thing you're going to hear. You want some mentors and get the hot beats and hear hot rhymes? You got to tune in and listen to us. Get that true information and true love. You know what I mean? Unity is all in one. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. 4s are up, man. This is The Chosen World. I am the unknown factor.
I am Mister DKB. And stay woke.
Stay woke. Stay woke. Judah, we coming for you, bro.
What's up?
You're going to be on here soon. But first, I'm just going to say real quick on the next episode, will be Supreme, the Resurrector. Yeah. But that's next week. Have a good fucking night, y'all.
Peace.
The chosen few are back. 144, we feeling that. 144.